Togetherland is very hard for me to describe. I'm just learning how to talk about it. Togetherland is what I'm calling a conscious living play. A conscious living play. So it's about the drama of play. It's about playing as in having a good time and playing our way to innovation in a world that works for all. And what I'm looking to do is create a context and a framework and the possibility where everyone on the planet is interacting and immersively engaged in a new story. And it's not a monolithic story, one story. There is a central plot about people coming together to evolve consciousness and go from competition to co-creation. That's a central plot. But from there, it's about everyone expressing that through their own lens. And it's about creating what I call almost like an infinite reality game. There's something out there in the world called alternate reality games. But Togetherland is more like an infinite reality game. It's this conscious living play. And what we're going to do is we're going to create quote unquote sets and locations and props. We're going to take the ideas of movies and we're going to live our story. We're going to become story livers compared to just being storytellers. So we're going to use and combine all the different technologies. And when I say technologies, I'm expanding the sense of that word: emotional technologies, spiritual technologies, indigenous technologies, physical technologies. And we're going to expand the idea of what a medium is. So not just transmedia, but transmedium, because in my opinion, we can look at life as a medium and even governance as a medium and organization as a medium. So to be transmedium is to consciously pull all of these pieces together into a whole living system of co-creation. So it's a really big idea, and I'm still learning how to talk about it. But the bottom line is Togetherland is going to be a place and a world beyond money, beyond transaction. It's going to be a gift-giving paradigm of co-creation where everyone has what they need to bring their gifts to the world, and it's going to be amazing. And by the way, when I say a world beyond money or without transaction, I'm speaking from the perspective of what Buckminster Fuller said, which is if you want to change things, don't fight the existing reality. Create new systems, new models, new stories, new realities that make the other realities and tools that are not serving us obsolete. So this is not about resisting or being angry with anything like money or the system as it is. It's about simply looking at that and saying, I do not wish to perpetuate that anymore. So I'm going to create the world that I want to live in. So I can talk a lot more about that, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to use these version of these non-fungible tokens as part of Togetherland, but we're going to upgrade that as well. This past Friday, we had an awesome playification session live here with my friends from something called X the Game. So we're going to create this amazing collection of 320 game cards with different art. You see Aryeh there is drawing. We've had some live artists here this week. We had a couple people playing music. So we're going to bring this all together. And we're going to create these NFTs or a version of them. And by the end of this year, we're going to launch something called the Existential Prize. And the Existential Prize is an inversion of what we're used to seeing with Shark Tanks and competition and people who have these beautiful, amazing humanitarian inventions and innovations. And then they pitch these things and they're all competing and struggling to get funding. So the Existential Prize is actually a striving together, which is the etymology of competition. The Existential Prize is where we all strive together to gift resources of all kinds, because it's not just about money. There's land, there's equipment, there's time, there's skills, and cryptocurrencies and fiat currency. We're gonna strive together to put all that in the Existential Prize, and then the people with the innovations are not going to be competing for that. They're going to learn and be invited to co-create together and all get what they need in order to create again, a decentralized synergistic network of immersive interactive locations that are all networked together to create a cohesive reality experience. And the cast and the crew and the audience really are all comprised of the same group of people. So when you go, Togetherland will be expressed in many ways. It will be through documentaries, through operas, through business. It doesn't matter. It's transmedium. It will express itself according to people's greatest passions. But for example, if you were to see a movie about a location of Togetherland and you saw cool technology there, or you wanted to actually go there, rather than a movie where it's actually just an illusion on a screen and it's a fantasy, where actually you can look it up after you see that movie and say, oh my God, I can go visit that. I can interact with that. People are going to be able to share votes when they want to, when characters want to create something in the world and give their collective intelligence. I mean, it's so endless. This is why it's an infinite reality type of game. And I'm using the word game loosely. It's not really a game. I'm using that as a convention. It's this conscious living play. And the difference between a conscious living play and what is already happening. So my wife has said to me, you know, we're already creating this all together around the world. We're already using these different mediums. So one of the differences between what we already have and Togetherland is another relates to another Buckminster Fuller quote, actually, which is we're called to be architects of the future, not its victims. So a conscious living play is very much about understanding conscious evolution, and that we actually have the ability, all of us together, to direct and directly interface and impact our circumstances. We are not victims. Things are not happening to us. This is a great lesson that our civilization is coming into greater degrees of understanding with. And a conscious living play and Togetherland, therefore, are about not just randomly doing things or being at the mercy of our unconscious or our fears. It's about actively, intentionally, deliberately saying, wait, yes, we want to create a world where there's no poverty. We want to create a world where everyone has what they need and people can give according to their abilities. We want to create a world where technology is celebrated and it's also in service to our greatest expression compared to dominating it. So um, that's a little bit more about Togetherland. You can see Ari is doing a drawing. We've got Yannicka is tuning in. She's been doing a painting all week. So this is again examples of people stepping up to do co-creation, who answered the call for this existential prize vision and mission. So this is going to be phase one of of the making of Togetherland, so to say. And we've got a friend in Cairo who's got an apartment that's a great location. We've got people all over the world who are turning on and tuning in to co-create.